What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country, in Washington, D.C., and everything you need to know about on a daily basis, including money, investing, the stock market, the fourth stimulus package update, stimulus check updates, and daily news. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button right now. It's completely free to do so you don't miss out on new videos that come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also in this video, we'll be talking about new monthly checks of $500 per month that will be going out to some people. We'll be talking about that in this video and a lot of different things. So let's jump right in. Also, thank you so much for hitting the like button for us down below. You guys are amazing. Also, before we forget, leave it up to Congress, right? They're headed towards a government shutdown on February 18th, which is now, 2.5 days away? Yeah, so they passed that bill in the House, but not the Senate. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer calls for the Senate to pass a government stopgap bill, just a temporary bill to fund the government only for a month by week's end, by Friday, to avoid even a hint of a government shutdown. But there's a problem with this. You can see here, lawmakers will try and pass a short-term government funding extension by the Friday deadline. But a handful of Republican senators are threatening to gum up the works, raising questions about when the Senate will actually be able to vote on it. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer warned on Tuesday that before the end of the week, the Senate must come to an agreement to pass a short-term extension of government funding ahead of the February 18th deadline. Man, they sure do wait till the last minute to do some of this stuff. Yeah, and with the whole Russia issue, this is going to be a real issue because especially look at this here. Ukraine's president says that Wednesday will, quote, will be the day of Russia's attack. This is coming from Ukraine's president. That's tomorrow. Or maybe if you're watching this here in the morning, this could be today. Now, this is, of course, speculation. We don't actually know if Russia's going to do this ahead of time. We'll have to see. Of course, nobody can predict the future, but there is a lot of reports that it could happen on Wednesday. So we'll have to see here. But Russia is moving more and more thousands of troops here by the hour and has Ukraine surrounded on 3 different sides. And meanwhile, the U.S. is headed towards a government shutdown. You can't make this stuff up, guys. Yeah. And he reiterated that the Democrats and Republicans remain optimistic towards working towards a deal to pass a full-year government spending package. That's later on next month. But in the meantime, they're just trying to pass a 1-month extension to keep the government open and not towards a government shutdown. But meanwhile, there's a group of 6 conservative Republican senators warning that they will oppose expedited passage of the stopgap bill to fund the government unless they get a vote to defund the remaining vaccine mandates that Biden administration imposed. A group of Republican senators, Mike Lee of Utah, Roger Marshall of Kansas, Cynthia Lummis of Wyoming, Mike Braun of Indiana, Rand Paul of Kentucky, and Ted Cruz of Texas signed a letter suggesting that they won't agree to a quick vote on the stopgap bill without an agreement for a vote on an amendment defunding enforcement on vaccines mandates, saying, quote, we will continue to stand against these mandates until they are discontinued in ambition, design, and practice. Quote, for that reason, we are writing to let you know that we will not consent to a time agreement that eases passage of the continuing resolution. Now before the Senate, absent an agreement to allow for a roll call vote on an amendment that defunds the enforcement of these vaccine mandates for the spending period covered by the CR. So this could actually delay the voting process here in the Senate. We'll have to see how this materializes. Meanwhile, the stock market had a big recovery today after multiple days of being down, a kind of buy the dip situation. The S&P 500 today up 1.58%. The Dow Jones Index up 422 points, a pretty significant gain there. And the NASDAQ, mostly tech sector there and technology companies, up 2.5% there, a significant gain. But remember that everything has been down for multiple days in a row here. But if we do actually see an attack on Russia, we'll probably see a large drop. Large drop. Of course, this is just a speculation. Who knows what actually will happen? But it's probably a good guess. But we'll have to see what happens here. But you can let me know your thoughts here in the comments. If that actually happens, well, you can let me know your thoughts. Meanwhile, here is Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer on how they plan to address inflation with multiple different tiers to this. Check this out.
Okay, I'm proud to be joined by our leadership team of Senators Durbin, Murray, and Stabenow. So we had a great lunch today, really a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of new ideas on focusing on lowering costs for working families. Whether it's child care or prescription drugs or semiconductor chips or filling up the gas pump, what's on the dining table, cost of food, we're coming up with solutions to address these issues. That's the big difference between Democrats and Republicans when it comes to lowering people's costs. We have real answers. They don't. They just attack. And why don't they have answers? Because much of the time it goes after the special interests that support them. So they don't want to deal with the oil companies or the meatpacking companies or the shipping monopolies. So we are focused on getting costs down, and you're going to see a lot of activity in March on us, from us on that issue. Now, let's not forget, we're a very strong economy. In President Biden's first year, the economy added 6.6 million new jobs, the most ever in a president's first year. But we're not stopping there. Now that wages are going up, we want to make sure costs go down so the average person has more money in her or his pocket. And that's what our whole lunch was about, or most of our lunch was about today. Various members came up with different ideas, and we're going to focus and we're going to come up with caucus agreement on those ideas. Not everyone will agree with each idea, but there'll be large buy-in, and you'll hear a lot about this from us as we move on. And one of the ways we're reducing costs, of course, is the competition bill to relieve U.S. supply chains. That was bipartisan. And on any of these cost-saving bills, we'll welcome Republicans joining us. If we can get 60 votes on a bunch of them, that's fine. But when we can't, we're still going to move forward. And you'll see some votes on the floor on these as well. We've been pushing for years, for instance, to lower the cost of prescription drugs. We think it's an outrage that insulin should cost $600 per month rather than $35 a month. And we're working with Republicans on antitrust bills to increase competition. So as I said, some will be partisan, some will be bipartisan, but we have solutions, and we're going to focus like a laser on reducing costs. The new proposals and new ideas keep coming, and we're going to propose legislation, and we're going to move forward, and we're going to go back to our states and start talking about these things. Some of the members have already, as you've probably seen in their local newspapers or even reported in the national media. Americans, and so we want to get that done. Our goal is to have wages that have increased stay up, the costs that Americans pay, much of it induced by COVID, go down, and people are much better off. And that is where we're headed. So let me first call on Senator Durbin.
Meanwhile, in different parts of the country, we continue to see more and more stimulus being spread here and being sent out. You can see here in this article from yesterday, Utah residents have $10 million in stimulus aid coming their way. Salt Lake County is getting a $10 million sum in rental assistance. The county is also taking steps to help residents apply for the aid they need. When the pandemic first hit the soil, businesses had no choice but to shutter temporarily. That caused massive layoffs back in 2020. Last summer, the federal eviction ban expired, subjecting many renters to dire consequences. The silver lining, though, is that the last two stimulus packages allocated a combined $45 billion in rental assistance funds to help struggling tenants catch up on their rent payments and stay in their homes. Those funds were distributed to states individually. States were then tasked with opening up rental assistance programs across the country and doling out funds as the applications come through. And a $10 million pool of relief has just been provided to Salt Lake County with an additional $10 million in aid for rental assistance purposes. So far, the county has given out at least $64 million in rent assistance fund since March of 2021. Not only is the county giving out more money to distribute, but is also forming a new program in Utah Community Action. The Utah Community Action website is 801-359-2444. But remember, it's not just in Utah, it's literally in all 50 states with rent assistance, utility assistance, and mortgage assistance. I have links for you guys down below in the description of this video. All across the country. I'll link you to those videos here at the end of this video as well. Utility assistance is anywhere from several $100s to the LIHEAP program and other programs as well. I have videos showing you how to apply for that. You can actually get that every single year. And rent assistance is available in most, if not all states. I've been telling you guys about this for a while. Some states have paused their rent assistance programs due to backlogs and or limited funding because some states are running out of funding until more gets approved. The homeowners assistance is available in most states. Some states are just still getting ready to open their programs. There's $9.9 billion in homeowners. Some states actually will can approve up to $80,000 in homeowners assistance. So some states haven't quite opened it yet. They have a waiting list actually that you can apply for or get on for homeowners. Some of these states require you to be behind on rent or mortgages, but I would say most don't. It really just depends. Each state has different qualifications, but I have videos showing you how to do this. I don't charge a penny for anything on my channel. If you ever see anything in the comments saying contact me or anything in the comments, just know that's a scam. I don't have a text, a phone number, or a WhatsApp or anything like that. So if you ever see anything like that, just know that's a scam. Okay, I don't charge a penny. When you subscribe to our channel, it's completely free. You literally just click the button to subscribe. It costs nothing to click the button. Help us reach 400,000 subscribers as well. We're at like almost 399. So yeah. Also, here we go with the next stimulus check program going out here. Check this out. Louisville, Kentucky, to pay some residents $500 a month through a guaranteed income program. Yeah, check this one out.
Paid $500 a month for a year from the government with no strings attached. You can use it any way you want to. It sounds too good to be true, but it's not. Thanks for watching Wave News at 11. I'm Shannon Kogan.
I'm John Bull. Louisville Metro will launch a guaranteed income program that'll give monthly payments for a year. Wave News reporter Tori Gessner explains it.
Yes, Shannon, John, the program is designed to bring people out of poverty. It'll cost around $900,000. The city is working with two groups to make it happen, and they'll focus on the neighborhoods they say need it most.
Call it the 9th Street divide or east versus west. You see the discrepancies.
James Jensen has lived in the West End for 20 years and sees them too.
If you look right across the street, there's a building that's all boarded up and everything.
A poverty level much higher than the other side of the city, 83% in the Russell neighborhood in 2017. Mayor Greg Fisher says he has a solution.
I answer with a very simple one-word answer: money.
In Louisville's case, $500 a month for a year, no strings attached. People 18 to 24 living in the California, Russell, and Smoketown neighborhoods are eligible. Louisville Metro will pay $100,000 of the $900,000 price tag. Metro United Way and Mayors for a Guaranteed Income will cover the rest.
I say it's much needed. And down here, the children are in poverty and need to come up out of it.
That's the goal. During Stockton, California's program, full-time employment rose among people receiving the guaranteed income, and their physical and mental health got better, according to research. But some in Louisville have doubts.
I don't know if it would help or if it'd be like bad. I don't know, giving it some people that might not use it the right way.
It's going to be like a catch-22 on that. There are some people are going to go ahead and spend it on dope and booze and all that. Other people are going to try to bring themselves up out of this.
Applications are due February 21st.
Yeah, so we have more and more of these stimulus check programs and monthly check programs going on here all across the country. So if you're from Louisville, Kentucky, go and apply for this program right now. I hope that more and more of these stimulus check programs, state stimulus check programs, city stimulus check programs, I just hope that more and more of them become available, and we're seeing a lot of state stimulus check programs. Those are really, really big as well, because the more states do it, I mean, think about entire states are doing this as well, which, I mean, are for millions and millions of people. Of course, California is the biggest one because that's for like 27 million people. And those are really starting to add up when you start to get states that are for millions and millions and millions of people. Yeah, those are really starting to add up. So I will keep you up to date here with everything going on here in our country, in Washington, D.C., and everything you need to know about. We'll see if Russia attacks this week. That's also going to be really big news. And if they do, what happens with us here at home and with America tied in with NATO, and what is going to happen here with us with our strings attached, and who knows. I'll keep you up to date here. Make sure to click the subscribe button down below. If you're not subscribed yet already to our channel, it's completely free to do so. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Click the bell icon next to the subscribe button to get reminders when we go live every day if you haven't yet. You can click here to watch my newest video next, and you can click here to see about how we talk about executive orders for stimulus checks. Click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.